Do you have a favorite Ninjago ship?
This is where you're going to try and get me on one of these shipping questions.
You know about shipping?
Yes, I know about shipping.
You've been to a lot of conventions, I guess.
I've been to an anime convention or two, and I've seen some shipping pictures that I shouldn't see. Iron Baron and heavy metal. How about that one? That's my favorite. Has anybody shipped that yet? Get on it.
Any life-changing moments ever happened through voiceover for you?
Life-changing?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I told you about the one where when I lost the role in Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like that was probably, that one just like, I can go back to that feeling, hearing that from my agent in a second. And it was life-changing in a good way that it hurt so bad to lose a lead role on a big series, which went on for like 4 seasons. So you can imagine. It hurt so bad to lose that. But I think it just made me stronger to know that I was good enough to get it. So I was even if I was second choice and I lost it after the first episode, I still must be good enough to get more.
Right.
So it didn't crush me, but it's a feeling that I always go back to, that I can say I got through that, so I can get through this. So that's probably in the voiceover side of things. That's the one.
Did you come up with your ideas for the voices of the skeleton guys?
It was probably in the character description. There was probably something in the character description that one guy was more of a wise guy, so they wanted Knuckle just to be, the smaller, and he's more the subordinate character to Cruncher, who's like the second in command, I think.
Right.
So Cruncher, we just kind of made a bigger kind of, what are you doing, you bonehead? Like they wanted him to, but they both wanted him to be, they said comedy too. So one of them was going to be this guy, and the other guy's going to be like this. So I knew I had to separate them vocally and just make them cartoony and fun. And that was because they're just, mostly there for gags.
Do you have a favorite line you've ever said for a character? Is it the 9,000 thing?
Well, you know what? The internet makes your favorite lines become apparent, because I do not remember a lot of lines. When you play a ton of parts and there's not specific, no one remembers lines or even scenes. You remember characters and sort of the emotion of being on a show that was fun and the feeling in general, but specific lines, I don't know too many actors who remember, I remember saying that one line. It's really rare. Yeah. But because the It's Over 9,000 comes back to me all the time, it's the line I've repeated the most in my life for 15 plus years, that one clearly just pops into my head.
Do you have a life motto?
A life motto? It's Over 9,000.
Skeleton or dragon hunters?
Skeleton or dragon hunters. Yeah.
Any advice for aspiring voice actors?
Forget the voice side. Focus on the acting side. That's my advice. Yeah. So instead of thinking, I've got to come up with cool voices, I've got to come up with funny things. Somebody told me I have a great voice. Yeah. Forget it. If someone told you, oh man, you're an incredible actor, then start playing with voices. Get the acting stuff down first. Can
you say anything in your Jetstorm voice? That Transformer?
That's Beast Machines. That was the series after Beast Wars. Jetstorm has very similar to Vegeta, because this is in my early coming up with voices. And Jetstorm sounded like this. He was very sort of noble sound sometimes, and they made him almost talk like a pilot. Everyone to your seats. But he was a bit of a bad fella, and when he got angry, he would change from this to now this.
You have a favorite Marvel movie?
Man, I'm so pumped about wrapping up the whole Infinity Stone series. It's like we're gonna have a big movie night. You're invited, by the way. It's gonna be a big one. We fill a theater with voice actors, and we just The next one is my favorite one.
Why is Iron Baron so mean?
This is an excellent question.
It is?
Because, it is. Because he is not in touch with his feelings.
Oh.
Right? He needs
some love.
He needs more love in his life. That's why.
He's basically an internet troll.
He is an internet troll, and he did not get any love by the end of the series. If someone just take him aside and said, Iron Baron, we love you, there wouldn't have been that terrible ending for Iron Baron, and he would continue on in the series to be one of the good guys.
If Iron Baron and Zane had a private conversation, what would we talk about?
Technology, I think.
Technology?
They would talk about technology and better ways for Iron Baron to get away and get around, and I think so. You know what? No. That's not what they would talk about. They would talk about their feelings. Zane would bring Iron. Zane is the one character who would probably bring Iron Baron to the good side. Because Zane is so great, he's expressing his feelings.
I personally cannot stand pineapples. What are your thoughts on pineapples?
Dude, I love
really
me some pineapples. I love pineapple. Pineapple on pizza, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Get after me. Go ahead. Warm pineapple. I don't like it. I love it. Full on, first choice every time for me is pineapple and ham when I get a slice of pizza.
Oh, man.
A1 choice every time. I rarely ever buy pineapple in Canada because it's just not good. But when I go to Hawaii, which is every couple of years or so, I'm into pineapple till I have canker sores. I'm all over it.
You remember doing Bionicle?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I did a few of those.
What was your experience on that show? I know a lot of the guys that watch my channel are hardcore, back in the day Bionicle guys.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I played a couple characters and I can't remember their names because it's been a while. But I remember one of them was sort of kind of an Irish accent or something. I enjoyed doing it. I was really hoping that show was going to go to series and not just be the Bionicle movies.
Right.
We were going to do a bunch of them because I really thought it looked cool.
But they paved the way for a lot of Lego shows that are now
they did.
around.
Yeah.
What are your hobbies?
Having just had 3 children that have finally grown up and moved out, most of them, that was my biggest hobby, as you are well aware. When you have kids in the household, it feels like you don't do anything. But I'm a big movie watcher, and every house I've had, we always have a big time movie room that I put together.
Nice.
So high end, the big 120-inch screens and
right
projectors.
Now?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite moment voicing Iron Baron?
The death scene is probably the one I remember the most because Donovan had me doing all kinds of blood curdling screams. Yeah. No, maybe he's not dead, but the being burned alive by a dragon scene, that was probably my big moment.
It's really funny you said that because season 3, I sacrificed myself and died. I think I only did 2 takes of my death scene.
Yeah.
And for me, it's one of my proudest voice acting moments when I watched the death, how I did it.
It worked?
Yeah, oh yeah. When I watch it, I'm like, that's some of my best stuff. And so funny enough, I remember as my favorite moment on Ninjago, my death as well.
Oh, wow. Well, because it's so intense and this is it for my character. Yeah, he's not coming back. It's sort of a give it your all and you really remember it. So that's one of the ones. And I remember it's same with the director, Mike Donovan's having me do it over a few times and let's do this. And we're playing with it. So we spent more time on it because he also knows this is it for this guy. Yeah. Let's make it good. So you just get tied to it a little bit more.
That's crazy.
That's what I remember, yeah.
They picked the same thing as me. Okay.
Nothing like dying a good animation death.
If you weren't a voice actor, what would you be?
You know what? I would probably be an architect. Really enjoy houses and homes and design and lines and the artistic look of it. So there's still the artistic aspect of that, right. Not the part of I just like to make sure it's foundationally set and not the engineering side, but the design side is what I would be really interested in.
Okay. How much do you relate to Iron Baron personality-wise?
I don't think I relate a ton to him personality-wise because he is not cool. He's a nasty piece of work. He's snapping at people, and I'm not that. Well, actually, when I'm driving, sometimes I can be easy to anger. That's probably where my inner Iron Baron comes out, is commuting. So yes, maybe I do relate a little bit. It's coming back to me. Yes, I can relate. As a commuter, that's where Iron Baron exists in my life.
What's your biggest memory as a voice actor? All the things you've done. Doing
Dr. Claw on day 1 of that series with Maurice LaMarche in the room, and this is a big series that's Inspector Gadget's been around for a long time. You're trying to be respectful to the previous voice of that role. I remember that day, big time, walking in the room and being really nervous about it. And that's probably whenever you have a lot of energy and you're nervous, those are the days you remember the most.
What are some of your favorite shows we didn't talk about that you've been on?
Oh, yeah. Well, I briefly talked about Geronimo Stilton. Yep. That's a favorite show of mine because I got to play a lead role on it. Venom, way back.
Oh, you played Venom.
Venom in Spider-Man Unlimited.
Cool.
And Mike Donovan, the director of many Ninjago episodes, played Carnage. So we played opposite each other as Venom and Carnage in Spider-Man Unlimited, which only lasted for 1 season.
my career goal of being on Marvel, you've done multiple times. Is that what you're saying?
Multiple Marvel characters? Yes, I have. I've played, Professor Xavier. I've played all kinds of... I played a ton of different... Not... yeah. My Little Pony stuff has been a blast. Littlest Pet Shop stuff has been a blast. There's new cool things that are coming out that are great. Remember I talked about Streaky on Superdog? That was so fun to work on that with Sam Vincent. I've done tons of fun stuff.
What's the question that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
Maybe what makes you continue to want to act and voice act?
Okay, what's the answer?
Oh, I didn't say I had an answer for it. I just have a question you should have asked. You know what? What keeps me doing it is the people in this business. People like Brent, people like all the actors on Ninjago. It's a really tight-knit community of people that don't have any egos. Like there's egos. You have to have an ego to be an actor, but there's not over-the-top ones.
Right.
Like there can be in film and TV, and even can be in theater and stage. It seems like it doesn't really exist in the voiceover industry. There's the odd person that might have a bad day, and it's like, whoa, man, back off the ego trip. But it's rare. I feel like I can show up, and every day is going to be fun. I'm not going to roll into a show and be, oh no, I had another episode of this with these buttheads.
Where can we find you on social media?
I'm mostly just a Twitter guy, so at Brian Drummond VO, BrianDrummondVO. I tweet.
I'll put that information below if you can't remember it.
So it's either right here or...
No, there. Brian, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on my channel, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to these guys, answer their questions.
My pleasure.
Anything you want to say to them in conclusion?
Keep watching Ninjago because this show should go forever.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you. Whoa, and I break a stool in the end.
You broke a stool.